Great. Well, Nat, lovely to meet you. Let me know how I can help.
Um, yeah, well, I mean, first of all, yeah, been following your content for a while on LinkedIn. So yeah, it's just really nice to speak above anything else, you know. Um, I think that I am in a position where I've done really well to build up the skills of being a good prospector and uh, being good at prospecting uh, to sell software and services. But I made the step to being an account executive about 6 months ago. And whilst my prospecting has kind of remained like, at a good level, I think I just found it really hard making the move to AE. And the things that I found hard, I think, were moving opportunities down the funnel, kind of combining self generation of a pipeline with managing that. So yeah, it's been tough, and like it's been really tough, I'd say.
How do you feel mentally?
Good question. Um, I think like probably I think quite flustered, you know, quite flustered and maybe a little bit on the edge. In the way of like, yeah, just you know, not super confident.
Got it. Got it. Look, Nat, let's talk this through. So you were an SDR, you had a level of success, top of funnel, prospecting, you got promoted, you've been doing this for 6 months. So if we look at your sales process, right, and I can only assume that with whatever you're selling, that it starts with a discovery call, right?
Mm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
now, if we go from discovery call down the rest of your sales process, where is it that you are seeing the biggest drop off? Is it discovery and then things fall off a cliff then? Are you getting to proposal and plan and then things fall off a cliff then? Where do you see the biggest drop off?
Yeah, I think it is um, end of discovery, proposal is out, and then I think I'm chasing. Well, I don't think I am. Like, I'm chasing after that. Um, the buyer
Got it. Got it. What's the average order value of what you sell?
around like 40K, I would say, 30 to 40K.
Sales cycle length?
It's a difficult one, but I would probably say it's anywhere between like maybe like maybe like 3 to 6 months.
Okay. Okay. So first thing that I want you to do and think about is that you need to start obsessing over your numbers. And when I asked you that question about where do your deals fall off, you had to stop and say, I think it's here and I think it's there. The next time we connect, you shouldn't have to think about that. When you know your business intimately, tracking everything, right? I've had this many conversations. I've had this many discovery meetings. This percentage of my business drops off at this point. This percentage of my business drops off at this point. Only once you obsess around the data can you effectively diagnose where you have the challenge and where you have the friction and what you need to do differently. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'll say is that most deals are won or lost at discovery.
Mm.
Discovery is how you set the stage for the rest of the sales cycle. And you get that wrong and you're playing catch up from day one. You get that right and you will find you will have less friction down the stack. So if I had to take an informed view with the little data that I have right now, I would immediately anticipate there's two things. Your discovery meetings are not done effectively enough, and you haven't test around really the metrics around your sales campaigns, right? You're not living and breathing your data to the where you fall off. So I want to give you some pointers on your discovery meetings. But before I do that, has everything I've said so far made sense?
Yeah, like 100%. And yeah, I think I suppose if I had to say in the last 6 months, I've sort of been winging it a little bit. I haven't been meticulous in logging down my the numbers. But yeah, no, everything makes sense so far.
Right. Just before we touch on this discovery piece, tell me at the moment, Nat, how do you run a discovery call?
So I'll go in and do an upfront contract. And the purpose of that will be like, the way I set it will be like, by the end of this call, we'll have established if we can help you, and if we can't, we can part ways there. What I will then do is, so I'll set up that upfront contract. I'll ask if there is anything they want to get out of the call, and then I will ask them some questions. I think what's been tricky is like knowing when to just qualify and ask loads of open questions and then sell. And I think what I've been doing is start qualifying and asking questions, and then they get a bit pissed off because I'm asking so many questions, and they'll sort of be like, well, look, we're here because we want to understand more what you do. And that's when I feel like I sort of go into pitching mode, and then I'm kind of, back against the wall a bit. I'm pitching, kind of selling too hard, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I'll ask a few questions, and then roughly halfway through the call, I'll explain in a bit more detail what it is we do, and sort of go from there. And then at the end, that's when I try to get some sort of next step in place if we're a fit. And it's at that point that, yeah, typically like half people will be like, yeah, like this is it, let's have a call in a couple of weeks, and then the other half are like, well, we'll come back to you. We need to have a think, think it over, and that's really annoying.
Got it. Well, look, now, of course, we can't do a discovery masterclass in 2 minutes, but let me share a couple of things. The first is the way you set the stage for your discovery meeting is incredibly important. And when I heard the way that you start your meeting, you went off on the wrong foot by saying, in essence, this is what we're here to do. If there's a fit, great. If there isn't, we'll part ways. Think about what the psychological impacts of your language. Your language is so important, right? When you think about a discovery call, you come in with a customer, it's, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, great to connect. We're here to spend some time so I can learn and unpack more about your current state, so we can decide whether I can be helpful in unlocking a new future state for you. I get really passionate about these conversations because I do this with many customers day to day. So I'm really excited to dive in. You can talk about some of your potential housekeeping things, your agenda items, but what I'm trying to encourage and instill in you is, one, confidence and conviction. Two is clarity about what you're here to drive. Three, premise that you want to understand the current state to unlock a future state. And none of it is the language. You want it to be positive and fulfilling and getting them excited about where they're going. But right now, what you lack now, because you've taken a confidence knock, you don't have the confidence and conviction. Your framing is kind of very net neutral, or at times pessimistic. Invigorate you, right? And take that in, have clarity and structure about what you're there to do with your customer, and take them on a journey, right? And then the rest of this will start to unlock itself.
I really like that. I really like that sort of little bit you just did then of how you set the scene with a customer, and it just sounds so. There is a senior A at my company who kind of used that similar language as you did, and the difference in his call to mine is just like night and day. So I really appreciate that.
It's a great pleasure, Nat. Please keep me updated with your progress. I'd love to hear you out there crushing some records soon enough. So
Yeah,
lovely to meet you. Enjoy your Sunday, and please keep in touch.
yeah. No, I will. I'll keep you updated. Alex. Yeah, it's great to speak.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy your weekend. Thanks again, Nat. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.